Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week, February 11th, 2011's week of match play. I know you guys are wondering what's going on here. It looks a little different. Yes, I'm your host, Mike Ford, and to my left is Clinton Logan, and to my right is Alix. How are you gentlemen doing today?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Can't complain.
It's a very excellent Friday, and looking forward to debating some fun topics today.
So what's going to happen here? It's going to be your host. I'm going to facilitate questions to the two gentlemen, and we're going to start off, as always, with Cal topics. And the first topic is women's basketball. Gentlemen, women are coming off 2 straight losses in PSAC. They now dip to 6-3, I believe, in the conference play. Losses to Edinburgh and IUP. Right now, what do you guys think? Do you think they can still be able to host a playoff game coming into the playoff times?
You definitely have to think that they can still – they're definitely going to be in the playoffs. For them to surpass IUP and Edinburgh at this point, it's going to be difficult, especially with that loss to IUP. They had control the whole game, and second half, fouls just started killing them, offensive fouls especially.
Yeah, pretty much their playoff berth is pretty much everything but etched in stone, as there's a big drop-off between 4th and 5th in the West. But for them to be able to get a home game, they're going to need a little bit of help. And, you know, can Edinburgh beat IUP and then it gets into a tie for 2? Quite possibly, and it's certainly possible that Cal could still get a home game for that first round, but they're going to need a little bit of help, and they're going to have to limit those turnovers in the past couple of games, which have haunted them, and play some solid basketball.
Both of you guys called those women games. What did you see? Really, in California, did not look like they did when they played IUP earlier this season.
No, not at all, and that was a blowout the first time we saw over at Hamer Hall. And, you know, we just didn't see that same team, especially in the second half. It was a pretty even first half. They came out shooting 10 of 10. They were shooting 100% to start that game. They just trailed off after that.
Yeah, and in that game against IUP, you know, again, it was just turnovers, and that's been the one thing the past 2 games. They're turning the ball over too much, and it's allowing the other team to get right back in there.
All right, so now let's move on to men's basketball. And, again, this is a team also coming off a slip against Edinburgh and IUP in the previous weeks. They were and still are pretty much tied for the 4th spot in the PSAC. What is really the game plan down the stretch for this men's basketball team? They really struggled to get anything going against IUP on Wednesday.
They've really just got to buckle down and really just realize what their strengths are and play to those strengths, because they've realized that 3-ball is very good for them. They've got a number of players who can shoot the 3-ball and shoot it well. Chad Tipton, Quentin Harding, Ryan Nemec, Joe Baronato. And then they've got those guys down the paint. They just can't do too much. And they've really just got to buckle down, make those threes, make those shots, and put away opponents at the end.
Yeah, and that's all they've really had recently. They've had that offensive struggle, especially, as you said, trying to get into the paint stuff. They have Steve Swick down low, but he's the only one really contributing. I mean, that game against IUP, 22 points, 15 rebounds. He's the only one that showed up. I mean, the rest of this Cal offense it was a poor effort, team effort in that game against IUP.
Usually when you see a team that gives up that many points as well, you have to say there's something wrong with the defense as well.
I think there is a little bit wrong with the defense, but at the same time, IUP is still such a great team. They have those returning guys in Darrell Webb and Ashton Smith, and they've got a bunch of guys who are still good there. California, they're also very young, and they're still learning. They've only got the one senior in Rashad Hatton, so they're still learning, and next year they should be a little bit better than what they are now.
Yeah, very young team, but like we said, it's just very hard conference that they're in right now, especially with IUP, Edinburgh, and Mercyhurst.
All right, well, enough with the basketball topic. We will see again California at home this weekend. All right, Cal baseball time, and really they're coming to the preseason polls ranked #1 this season, expecting a lot of positive things for them this way. What do you think is the formula for right now for this baseball team to garner some of the success they carried over from last season into this season with so much high expectations for them?
I mean, 16 players returning, that's always going to help your cause. They're ranked 24th right now just in Division II baseball, and Cal always has a very successful baseball team in general, and they're going to use that experience to pretty much take control. I want to say that they're easily going to outright win this conference this year. They finished second behind IUP in the conference, but they were still able to win that tournament and the overall conference tournament last year.
They've got a very strong team in their hands right now, and I'd be very surprised if they didn't win the West outright as well. With those 16 players returning, a lot of them are at key positions. They've got a number of returning pitchers, both starters and relievers, a number of starting position players. They've got a ton of guys there. And the PSAC, while it's always very competitive, this is a California team, I think, that could go a long way, even beyond the PSAC playoffs.
Yeah, and the main hurdle is just, like we said before, IUP, Mercyhurst, Slippery Rock. Those are going to be their challenges.
Out of those four, quickly, who do you think is their number one threat right now?
IUP you have to go with.
See, I'm going to go with Mercyhurst because they have a number of good players, especially, I believe, I can't remember his name, but he was one of the freshmen of the year 2 years back, and he's a very strong guy, too.
All right, so we should see springtime coming up. It should be a very interesting baseball season. All right, now for the fan topic. You guys flood us with so many dynamic questions all the time that we have to choose which one's the best. I mean, we have so many topics, so many questions. From Christina Aguilera's slip up in the national anthem. What do you guys think of that?
That was embarrassing for her. I think it was just embarrassing in the NFL's part, too, that actually happened. And that's not looking good for them.
We got some questions for you as long as the Justin Bieber movie that just came out. We want to know, what are your thoughts on that?
No, all the young girls are going to be loving that movie, but I absolutely plan on not seeing that at all. No. I don't even want to see it. I don't even want to see it when it comes out on video.
I think you're going to disagree with that, there, sir. I think you will see it.
I don't think I will, but you keep thinking that.
Hey, these guys, again, so many questions you flooded us with. We even got some breaking news here as far as Pirates history, and we had a manager that passed away, and we were talking about this before. You said the manager of the 1981, I believe, 79 championship team passed away today. Coach Tanner passed away. I mean, reminisce as a Pirates fan.
Yeah, Chuck Tanner, he's great lore in Pirates organization, the manager of the 79 World Series. He was working as a front office guy for the Pirates here lately, and you know, you look back to Chuck Tanner as the last time really that the Pirates were good. I mean, that was when they were a dominant force year in and year out, and Leland was good, but Tanner was better.
Yeah, very unfortunate to see something like that happen, and our regards go out to his family and friends as well.
All right, so great Cal topics we had here. We're going to move on now after the commercial break to our regional topics. Stay here, right here on Match Play.